Hey guys, I want to do a quick video on a trade that I used to grow a small account into a much larger account. The overall trade it was about 1,280% from the initial purchase, the buy point, and it was actually a very high pattern quality trade. And this one actually was a big reason why I took about a 50. Let me look at the numbers on that again. Took a $5,400 account to about $76,000 over about 16 months. And again, when you get the right trade at the initial stages, very quickly that money kind of becomes like a snowball rolling down the hill. You're able to do more trades. Again, this is mostly options out of this particular account. And so it kind of like it's like a magnifying funnel. The further you get into the further along in time that you get, the more trades you're able to do, and that generates the ability for more trades to generate more profits, etc. So, but I'm going to show you what the main traits of some of the key. If you're just again starting out, you're starting with a small account, you really want to keep your powder dry and look for the best possible setup. So I'll show you this particular trade, and there were a lot more trades behind them. Some made money, some didn't make money, and maybe some of the options expired worthless. But again, a lot of these trades were not risking a lot of money, so I'm okay with a $150 option play expiring out of the money, not making anything on it if it has potential to make a 500 to 1,000% gain on it. So let me just go ahead and show you this particular trade that initiated the account growth on this particular account. Give me 1 second here to set this. Okay, before I break down the chart, here's the beginning account balance. Started with about 54.56. That was the end of May in 2017. Let me show you and this was after about 16 months, $76,507. Again, this was not on the NVIDIA trade. Was over a multitude of trades, but this initial spark, basically catching the right trade, caused a lot more trades to follow right behind that. Let me show you the particular performance on. Okay, this was on again the NVIDIA Corporation that bought the September 2017 calls, basically at $596. That's all I had in the trade. One contract, $595. So it sold it for $82.17. It was a 1,280% gain, and the statements show two different companies. Options Express was bought out by Charles Schwab, so it's the same account, just transferred over to a different broker. So that was the juxt of that. Again, it was a bunch of trades, but this was the initial trade that really started the account to really expand quickly. So let me break down the chart for you on that. Okay, here's a look at NVIDIA. This is a pattern, millionaire maker pattern. Really strong BMI on the left-hand side. A pattern for BMI, a vector of 5. And the action in the cup, a TM1 cycle set up high, but you had a TM2 cycle, which is the primary pattern cycle right there. Double bottom. You also had this very strong psychological price support there at the $100 mark. So came back, retested that prior bottom near that. This is actually a really powerful setup when you have such a big gain and you have such a soft landing pullback, especially with the squeeze coming in right here. You had the initial pullback lows being held on this retest of that support. So this is my buy zone somewhere in here. Can't remember exactly what date, but scrolling out, you can see very nice run up on it. At the point I bought it, was a decent bit out of the money. I think it was $110 calls I bought when the price was, I believe it was a 98 or 99, whatever it was at the time. It wasn't that close to 110. So a little bit higher risk at the time, but the delta, once the trade kicked in, once it got above that, gapped up on earnings, the delta was just about 1.0, moved dollar for dollar on the price. So I got out, I think popped here, I got out somewhere in here, a little bit sideways. In fact, I got out just prior to earnings, I believe. I can't remember exactly, but either way, you get the point. You know, when you have a excellent pattern quality like this, and you have a strong price action now, in hindsight, it probably would have been better to roll it a few times, but you have, when these trades get seasoned, especially if you try to roll it when you're up high versus when you're rolling on a pullback. Look at this. This is 3 to 4 months of chop. If you had, for example, try to roll right here and then your expiration's over here, you didn't gain much for that. So sometimes it's just better to take your money out on that if you have some 6-month options, whatever they are, and it's rolled into different new trade. But this particular one did very well on the cycles. The TM5 cycles, a common super cycle line. And as you can see right here, TM5 set up here. Had an internal cycle, TD6 cycle, TD6-I internal, and mid-channel violation of both the long-term TM5 channel and the short-term internal TD6 channel. So it was, everything was pointing to that being a top, and you can see right there, excellent short off of that if you're paying attention to those particular cycles. But this is what can happen when you have a cycle-based approach to stock selection. You get into the best trades at the best time and get some really clear exit signals based on cycles on this. So again, MM pattern setup, and you know, those will be the type of trades I would say focus on in the initial stages of building an account up, and try to ride a few good ones of those, roll that money back into some other quality trades, and that's how you can grow a small account relatively fast. Okay, that about wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you'd like to be notified when we post more of these videos on the channel, just hit subscribe and also the bell icon to be alerted immediately when we post a new video. Have a great day.